Welcome everyone to this CELPIP Speaking Part 4, Making Predictions Analysis. Now, I'm just here in the Speaking Part 4 section of the CELPIP library. And before we get started, I do want to remind you that Part 4 focuses more on CLB 4 to 6. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you need to get CLB 4, 5, or 6, then you need to do well in this part, because this part will be easier for lower levels to speak about, okay? For example, the pictures are usually something familiar, common situations, and also the vocabulary and the language that you can use doesn't have to be so difficult, okay? And so it will be easier for you to speak for part 4. Now, if you need to get CLB 7 or higher, well, this part will not affect whether you get 7 or higher so much as part 1, 6, or 7. Those parts, you can really show your knowledge. But in part 4, because it's an easier question, then higher levels should speak easily about it. And they can usually speak level 7 or higher easily for part 4. Okay? All right. And I also want to remind you about this tips and strategies video. This video will give you some more details about what tips and strategies you can use to answer part 4 more effectively. How to read the question, what to focus on, and what structure you can use. And actually, that video will explain more clearly some of the tips and strategies that I will use, okay? So I will leave a link in the description box to that video, okay? Okay, now let's get started with today's analysis, the lunchroom. So here we are in the front page of the sample lesson, and we are going to be doing a CLB 7-9 analysis in this video. So this lesson includes 4 sections: this video analysis, vocabulary building, which is great to expand your vocabulary, and your grammar building, which is great to expand your grammar for this question, which is future tenses, okay? And then, of course, our online question practice, okay? Now, about some of the tips and strategies that I will be focusing on the most for speaking part 4. The first one, everyone, is about using future tense. It's very important. Part 4 is making predictions. So for that, we need to use future tense, okay? And, well, simple future is will, I will do something, or going to, I'm going to do something. And you can use both of these for part 4 speaking, okay? Just going to is always stronger, and will is more about predictions, okay? But you can use both. Also, if you can, higher levels, we can use may or might. It might happen tomorrow. It may happen. Or it could happen. So that's something that higher levels could do. Also, we are going to be looking at organizing our answer, okay? We want to avoid repeating ideas. We want to sequence ideas, okay? And very important, we want to give a complete answer in 1 minute. And we are going to be focusing on that. And then for organizing our response, okay, I find this is a really good one. Okay. We have here a way to start. Okay. And then at least 3 ideas. That would be good. But always it's very good if you can connect ideas, everyone. Connecting ideas in the picture, that works really well. I'm going to explain that in the analysis. Okay. All right. And we should always think of ideas which are common to the situation. Something that is common, not something that just won't happen. Okay. Very good. So let's get started with today's analysis. So then, everyone, here we are in part 4, making predictions, preparation time 30 seconds, speaking time 1 minute. Okay. I do want to remind you that part 4, the picture for part 4 is the same picture as part 3. And so this example here is about the lunchroom. And we do have a video for part 3, the lunchroom. Okay, same picture. So always part 3 and part 4 are connected with the same picture, except part 4, we are making predictions, okay? So here we are. Here we have the picture. And yes, like we said, we need to organize. And in this analysis, we're going to try to build an answer that is more suitable for levels 7 to 9, okay? And for that, we're going to try to use stronger language, stronger expression, and maybe some good ideas that we can build. Okay, so let's get started. First, let's introduce the question, okay? I think several interesting situations will happen in the next while. So nothing major here, everyone. There's no major idea. We just want to make sure that we introduce the question, okay? So what's the first idea? Let's get to that. Okay, firstly, maybe the woman eating her lunch will offer the woman across from her an apple. But the young girl will refuse because she'll say that apples aren't her cup of tea. Wow, very good idea. Very good idea to start off here. So we said this woman here eating her lunch, she'll offer, I see an apple in here. It looks like an apple. She'll offer the young girl an apple, but this young girl will refuse because she'll say apples, they aren't her cup of tea. Wow, okay. Cup of tea, not my cup of tea. I don't like them. Okay. So first, again, we can say again, we're looking at the picture and we can say here the woman eating her lunch or the woman who is eating her lunch, but it's always easier or more common to say just the woman eating her lunch, the girl drinking her coffee, the man writing down his schedule, the man talking. It's just easier, kind of like a contraction to say that instead of who is or who are, okay? But you can say that. So that's the first thing. And also let's focus, we're using will. Will. We used will here, we used will, we should use contractions here, okay? Very good. All right, so that's the first thing. And also we're kind of, we see that this idea is possible, right? It's possible. We want to say possible ideas. We don't want to say something, for example, like a woman will start cooking some lunch. We don't want to say cooking here because there's no kitchen and we don't see anything that, like in the lunchroom you don't cook. So we don't want to say something that's not possible. But I see an apple here, so it's possible that she can offer it. So let's just keep that in mind. Possible ideas, okay? And then the other thing is, of course, language-wise, we said here, apples aren't her cup of tea. That's a great expression to use here. Great. And now we're going to extend. Higher levels, we can extend the idea. We can extend it. Even though 7 to 8s, they might be able to say something like this. 9s, we need to try to extend it. So what happens in the extension? So the security guard will shrug the comment off. Will shrug it off, or will shrug off the comment. Shrug it off means just say, just kind of ignore it. To shrug it off, ignore it. And say, don't forget, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Very interesting, okay? Very interesting. So what's interesting is here that the girl said, it's not, apples aren't my cup of tea. And then the other girl responded, well, no problem. Don't forget, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And that means apples are healthy. Okay, so very good idea. I think that what makes this idea the strongest here are these expressions. Okay, very good use of expressions. Anytime we can use expressions, that's a great idea. But also the connection between the two ideas, that makes it stronger as well. So great first idea to start. I do want to remind you, everyone, before we continue, that blue is sequencing language. Okay, this so it should be in blue here. That is sequencing as well. Okay, and then the red here, it's the main grammar forms. Now I've put expressions here in purple. All right. And black is anything else. So great first idea. Now let's get to the second idea. Let's see. Let's get to the second idea from this picture. What can we say for a second idea? Let's check it out. Secondly, perhaps, maybe, the man getting some chips will finish talking with his coworker and go sit at the lunch table. Okay, that's the first part. He'll finish talking to the coworker and go sit at the table. After that, he's going to start flirting with the younger lady. Oh, he's going to start flirting with her. Finish, then he'll go sit here and he'll start flirting. Flirting, very good idea. Flirting is something when you start talking to someone, like almost kind of being too nice. Boys flirt with girls, girls flirt with boys. Kind of like I like you. Flirting like that. Okay? So he'll start flirting with this younger girl. It can happen. It's possible. Again. Okay? But the lady might get annoyed, okay, with him and leave him stranded. Okay. So this lady, she didn't like the apple. She's not going to like this man talking to her. So she might get annoyed and she's going to leave him stranded. Means just leave him there. Okay, bye. I'm out of here. Bye. Stranded. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, he'll laugh it off. He'll say, oh, okay. Haha, she left me. And he'll say, you win some, you lose some. Wow, that's another good expression here. It's 3 expressions. Anytime we can use expressions, that's great language. Now, even though expressions might be difficult to come up with, I think these ideas here, they're not so difficult because they're possible. He'll finish talking with his coworker, he'll go sit down here, and then that girl will get annoyed, she'll leave him stranded, and he'll say, oh, okay, she's out of here. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. You win some, you lose some. Okay. That's what it means over here. Okay, very good. So I want to say here some things that are good. Future continuous. Future continuous. We'll finish talking. That's higher level. And then over here we use he's going to start. He's going to start. Good to use going to. And then over here we used might. Might, may. Modals of possibility. Also stronger language. Okay. And then, of course, our expression. Very good idea, but both of these ideas are good, okay? 7 to 8s, this might be enough, okay? But 9s, it's always good to put another idea. So what do we have over here? Let's see, a third idea. Lastly, I think the man writing down his schedule will finish it, and then he'll tell the woman taking a nap to wake up. Okay. And she'll look at the time and rush back to work because she's running behind schedule. So, good connection here. He's writing his schedule. He'll tell the woman here to wake up. Maybe they know each other. She's running behind schedule, so she's late. Okay. And unfortunately, she'll get back to work late. So her manager will send her home. Oh no. Oh no. The manager will send her home and say, "You snooze, you lose." Oh, very good idea or very good expression. Wow, that's a really good expression. You snooze, you lose. Well, snooze is like taking a nap. And you snooze, you lose means you wasted your time. When you waste your time, you don't get anything done. And because of that, or you're lazy. And if you're lazy, you don't get anything done, and then nothing good happens. So the lady was taking a nap. She got back to work late. The manager said, "Okay, you're lazy. Go home. You're tired. Go home. You snooze, you lose. Don't take naps or it's not good. You're wasting your time." What a good idea here as well, okay? Again, everything here is possible. It's possible that that will happen. And it's possible that the managers will get mad and send you home. Okay? So then everyone, we created 3 very good ideas, and I have to say that these ideas and everything we've got here is definitely 9 or higher, okay? We've done everything that we've needed to do to get 9 or higher in this part. It's a little bit more difficult to get 9 or higher in part 4 because, as I mentioned, part 4 is a little bit easier. So higher levels, you shouldn't have a problem saying anything about this picture. But it is harder here to get high levels, okay? And we've done something here that I think is very good to develop higher levels. Of course, we have the structure, which is always good. We have 3 ideas, which is also good. But what we've done for each idea is what I need you to focus on higher levels. First, we said something basic here, which is they're going to start talking, but then we extended the idea. And extending the ideas are always good. So we extended it with this part. We said this one, we extended it like this. We said this one, we said this idea, and we extended it like this. So extending your ideas, it's always good. And then, of course, our language, okay? We used will, we used might, we used future continuous. Those are stronger tenses, okay? And of course, we use these really great expressions over here. We use these really great expressions. And those expressions are really good all the way to the end. We used one. And we expressed these ideas very strongly, okay? So that's why this answer is definitely 9 or higher. Now, 7 to 8s, this is not 7 to 8s, much higher than that. But this is really good practice for you. Same thing for 7 to 8s. We just need to try to extend ideas and we need to try to use stronger language. Okay? But even if you say 2 ideas, that's good. Of course, now let's speak this answer in 1 minute. Okay? Let's follow along. Focus on flow and intonation. Very important. Slowly, clearly, continuously. That's what's important for flow and intonation. So while I read this, please focus on that and also focus on the organization, the sequencing, and the language. Okay, everyone, here I go. I think several interesting situations will happen in the next while. Firstly, maybe the woman eating her lunch will offer the woman across from her an apple, but the young girl will refuse because she'll say that apples aren't her cup of tea. So the security guard will shrug the comment off and say, "Don't forget, an apple a day keeps the doctor away." Secondly, perhaps the man getting some chips will finish talking with his coworker and go sit at the lunch table. After that, he's going to start flirting with the younger lady, but the lady might get annoyed with him and leave him stranded. Anyway, he'll laugh it off and say, "You win some, you lose some." Lastly, I think the man writing down his schedule will finish it, and then he'll tell the woman taking a nap to wake up, and she'll look at the time and rush back to work because she's running behind schedule. And unfortunately, she'll get back to work late, so her manager will send her home and say, "You snooze, you lose." Okay, you saw there that I used up all my time, but I was more expressive when I needed to be. I noticed over here I said gonna. Gonna is more common to say than going to. It's kind of just usually what we say for native speakers, okay? And also, again, I put a little bit more intonation with those expressions, which you should do, okay? So to practice, everyone, let's remember to practice reading it and analyzing the structure, the grammar, the language. Very good to analyze and see how sentences are constructed. Then, secondly, let's try to read this answer and practice reading it in 1 minute. The more that you practice it, the more the fluency you will build, and you'll build more flow and intonation. Very good to practice reading it in 1 minute. And then, lastly, can you say that answer by yourself in 1 minute? Can you? If you can, then you're this level. Well, I mean, without reading it. And from your knowledge, not from memory. So that's a really good way to test yourself and practice. Okay, everyone? All right. So for that, I'm going to be leaving a link in the description box to this sample question. Yes, here we are. There you have it. So you can practice reading and speaking it in 1 minute. And also, everyone, it will be a great idea for you to practice vocabulary building. Very good exercise. And grammar building. Some of the grammar that we used, future continuous and might and may, grammar exercises in here. So great. Also, everyone, let's not forget about our CELPIP library. Our CELPIP library has over 50 examples of speaking part 4. And these examples will really help you with building your speaking part 4 knowledge and skills. So I strongly recommend it. And because you've watched this video all the way till the end, with discount code CELPIP79, that's discount code CELPIP79, you can get a 3-month subscription of CELPIP Library for only $10.99. That's a great deal, everyone. and I strongly recommend it. So let's subscribe to the CELPIP library, and let's remember, practice makes perfect.